Hi guys, it's me Lakeisha, and today's conversation is gonna get juicy, so buckle your seatbelts. Let me get the incense going. This smell is good fortune because it's Friday. Let's call in amazing blessings into our lives, and let's talk about our standards. So I just did a video on TikTok, literally already got 10,000 views. It's only been like 20 minutes. So in that video, I say, when you accept the bare minimum from people, specifically your partners, you tell them that they do not need to change because there will be no consequences for their actions. So let me repeat that again. When you accept the bare minimum from your partner, you're telling them that even though you're complaining, you want all of these things to change, you want them to do better, you want them to show up for you, you want them to stop cheating, you want them to love you, you want them to care about you and just like be interested in the things that you're interested in, all that jazz. But when you accept the little breadcrumbs that they give you, you're telling them that they don't actually need to change, that all you're gonna do is complain, text your friends, talk about how they ain't nothing, but you're gonna stay. Let's do a story time. So let's say I was dating a guy, let's call him Adam. Okay, so I was like 21. Me and Adam are dating, and I was the type of person, I am still kind of this person, I really enjoy good morning text messages, and I made that very clear in the beginning of our courtship, right? But I also wanted a relationship. I wanted him to be my boyfriend. He said that he wasn't ready for a relationship. I said, okay, cool, we can keep playing like we're in a relationship without the title, whatever. So in this moment, call him Bobby. Okay, I will do another story and call somebody else Bobby, but this is Adam, right? So in this experience, I made it clear that I like good morning text messages. So he would text me every morning, good morning, and I would wake up and be like, oh my God, Adam likes me so much, you guys. He just texted me. I am like the first thing that he thought of when he woke up in the morning. It's love. Like, we're gonna be together. He's gonna realize how dope I am, how awesome I am. Like, the juicy goodness. So I eventually realized that although I got the good morning text message, that was kind of pretty much all I got. So he would say, good morning, beautiful, have a great day. I would reply, oh my God, thank you, how did you sleep? Crickets. I would text in the afternoon, like, I hope your day is going great, what are you doing tonight? Crickets. I would get a text message at 11 o'clock that would be like, you up? I would respond, mind you, like half sleep. Yeah, I'm up. What you doing? Nothing, watching TV, pretending like I'm all the way awake. Oh, I was thinking about you all day today. You've been on my mind. I was just so busy. I want to come see you. And I'd be like, okay, I want to see you too. Oh my God, he wants to come see me. And I'd be like so hype about the situation. When in reality, he did the bare minimum and breadcrumbed the crap out of me just to keep me happy. I complained at the fact that throughout the day he didn't respond to my text messages, or that he barely took me on dates. And when we did go on dates, we went to IHOP when he clearly had more money than just IHOP, and it kind of felt like there was no thought put into that. He did the bare minimum. And you know what? When he did the bare minimum, I accepted it. I went to IHOP and pretended that it was exactly what I wanted, and that I was just so happy to be spending time with him. I got my good morning text messages because he knew that's what I needed, and I stayed. I was that chick. I stayed. I was like 21, so bear with me, right? But I stayed. And ultimately, I came to realize that although I wanted more, although I complained about more, each time he didn't give it to me, there were no consequences. There were no repercussions for his actions. So, Lakeisha, ding, 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 ding. If someone is doing something bad and there are no consequences for their actions, why the hell would they change? If I was out here robbing grocery stores or like banks all the time and no one actually arrested me, why would I stop robbing banks? Yeah, exactly. So he did the bare minimum and I stayed. So he never needed to elevate and give me more. He never needed to give me a relationship. He never needed to text me during the middle of the day. He never needed to do a picnic in the park with me because I was giving him everything that he desired in that situationship. So my question to you is, where are you accepting the bare minimum in your life? And in this particular situation, it was love, and it was very apparent that I wasn't getting everything that I needed. Sometimes as I got older, I realized that it started to look differently, that I was getting the text messages. It wasn't just like the late night hookup kind of things. I would get dates, I would get money, I would get flowers, all of these things. But ultimately, I wasn't getting what I needed from the relationship. If I eventually did get the title that I was searching for, we weren't actually moving forward to build a life together, towards marriage, towards children, all of those things. We were kind of just like going through the motions, and they kind of just said, yes, you're my girlfriend, just to shut me up and make me happy. But ultimately, it wasn't the feeling, the nurturing, the love that I truly desired. And it triggered the crap out of my abandonment fears and my fears of rejection. So I stayed in those moments, accepting now this higher level bare minimum, but ultimately still not what I deserved, still not what I wanted, because I was afraid of being alone. So ultimately, my partner knew that. My partner knew that I had daddy issues. They knew that I didn't want to be single, that I was tired of being single. So I was going to stay and accept whatever it is that they gave me, whatever little breadcrumbs they sprinkled, and I was going to like follow the yellow brick road that led straight to them. And there were going to be no consequences. Yeah, I may ignore you for a week. I may even block you on Instagram. I'm going to talk about my friends. I'm going to send you long ass paragraphs that you're only going to respond to like certain portions of it. But ultimately, I was going to accept whatever you gave me because I was too afraid to walk away. I was too afraid of being by myself. So the clear message in today's conversation, with hand motions included, because I'm feeling hella sassy today, is that when you accept the bare minimum in situations, you are ultimately telling the other person that they do not need to step their game up because you are not going anywhere. And let me give you another story. Let's talk about jobs for a second, because I feel like we always talk about relationships, right? We always talk about romantic relationships, when in reality, the bare minimum also applies to your job, to your career. But let me take a sip. It's crazy. I feel like I haven't been on live with you guys in a minute, and now I'm just like extra feeling it. And my incense went out, and we're calling in good fortune, so we can't have that. There we go. Got the smoke going. Whew, let's just shower all of us with good fortune. Calling in good fortune. Okay, so in jobs, I was like a dream employee. I was the employee that like somebody called out, don't worry, I got it. Like, I'm gonna take care of it. Like, I used to work in customer service. I used to work at a clothing store. So, you know, like, think of like Forever 21 when they're short staffed and they're just like clothes all over the floor, and you're just like, does anyone even work here? The fitting room just got like racks and racks of clothes that you can't find your size. You're asking for help. You're doing all these things, and it kind of just seems like this entire place is chaotic and all over the place. Yeah. So I worked in that kind of store, and I was the employee that was just like, don't worry, I'm gonna handle it. We're short staffed, I got this. I'm literally gonna turn my 2 arms into 8, just like Ursula, and I'm gonna do all the things. You need me to work the register right quick? Cool, I'm gonna hop on the register. You need me to run to the fitting room? Don't worry, I got it. I'm gonna be running the fitting room, sorting clothes, still being nice to customers. I'm gonna do all the things. When it came time for raises, I got 20 cents. 20-cent raise. That was all they gave me. Even though when people called out, I stayed late. When people called out, I did above and beyond in my shift. Even though I never myself personally called out, even though I gave like the best customer service ever, like I was the most smiley, cheery person you could have ever imagined. Like, even though I gave this company my all, they gave me 20 cents. So I have a friend now My friend does the bare minimum at this job. She does the things that are literally only within her job description. So that means if you work in retail and the store closes at 10 o'clock, there's a certain window of time, specifically at the company that I worked at, because I know people at like Macy's and like Forever 21, they'd be wilding over there, but whatever, right? At my company, there was only like an hour window that you had from the store closing to get it all together, or overnight would have to pick up the slack and like get the store together so that I would be presentable, or they would have to like call the people who open the store in the morning to like come in earlier so that they can get things together. But ultimately, it wasn't all on your shoulders. And my friend would know, we all know this information, and my friend would do the bare minimum. Like, I mean, she didn't like not do anything, but she like wasn't putting forth speed and precision in her movements. She didn't care. She had her eye on the clock and was like, I'm gonna get done when I can get done. I'm not gonna rush myself. I'm not gonna stress myself. And that's it. And when it came time for raises, she got a 75-cent raise. And you know, like in those kind of jobs, or just in jobs general, you're not really supposed to talk about how much money you get in raises. Like, you sign the paper, it's supposed to be hush hush. But she was my friend, so I asked her. She got 75 cents. Now me, the overachiever employee that I was pissed. And it's crazy because I was kind of mad at her. And I'm just like, how the hell, literally, I work with you and I do the brunt of the freaking work. How the hell are you getting all this money? So I asked her about it, and she was just like, I told them that this is what I bring to the table and you're gonna pay me more. And she got it. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize that I could do that. Okay, let me do that. And I took me and my little 20 cents and went into the office and was just like, hey, I've been working here for mad years. I literally go above and freaking beyond for this company. Like, I can't believe you gave me 20 cents. And they were just like, oh, but like, that's still really great, and gaslit the shit out of me, right? Just like people do in relationships. They tell you that like they love you and they care about you, and that like this is their show of appreciation. The bare minimum, the 20 cents, or the good morning text, or whatever the case may be. So they're just like, oh, you love to go on vacations, like we gave you extra money so that you can do that, and now you can like travel and you work, oh, we gave you like the option to like work overtime and all these things. And in my mind, I'm like, I wouldn't need to work overtime if you paid me more money. And I was like, okay, cool. I am done going above and beyond. And in that moment, I made it clear by my actions that there were consequences for not giving me what I wanted. Because me going above and beyond, me coming in on my days off, me covering people's shifts, me staying late and doing all those things was not technically in my job description, and I did not have to do it. So it ceased. And you know what happened? A month later, I got a raise and I got a promotion. I became a supervisor. Because they realized that there were consequences to their actions that I showed through myself. So I was willing to say, you know what, either I'm gonna quit this job, or I'm gonna stop giving them my all and putting like my blood, sweat, and tears into this company who clearly don't respect me because they're like giving other people what they should be giving me. So ultimately I ended up with $1.25 and a raise, and I got what I wanted, even though I still was like hella stressed out about this job, this bum ass job. But I digress. I say all this to say that when you accept the bare minimum and you show people that you ain't going nowhere, why are they gonna give you more? There are some good-hearted people out there who are gonna be like, oh my God, I see that this person is really trying and I want to just like bless them and give them my all. But there are more manipulative people who are going to see you and take your kindness for weakness and use that to their advantage. Whether it be friendships, business, romantic partners, or literally just the person that you meet and bump into in the street. There are people who are going to test you and see how gangster you are, and see if you're really gonna back up the standards that you have set for yourself. And when you do not, they say, okay, it is duly noted in their mind that you ain't going nowhere. When my boyfriend ghosted me for, I think it was like 5 days, he disappeared for 5 days, you guys, 5 days. Mind you, right after I said I love you, I said I love you, I don't even remember what he said back. I think he kind of just like kissed me and like we went to sleep. And the next day, everything was great. He left. I didn't hear from him for 5 days. And he wasn't busy. He just didn't respond to me. And then I still was talking to him. Like, he came back. No, I feel like it was more than 5 days. Because it was like that, like, Christmas, like, New Year's, like, kind of break that you get from school. So it had to, like, at least, it was probably like 5 business days, 10 days in general, right? But whatever. So it was like a good portion of time where it was just like, I have every right to be pissed that I haven't spoken to you. So let's go with 10 days. It was 10 days. So 10 days have now gone by. I have not heard from this man. And he comes, mind you, I'm going crazy. I'm looking for him, calling the job, all the things. I'm wilding out. I really loved him, y'all. So he comes back, he sends me a text message, and he's just like, oh my God, you would never imagine what has just happened to me. And my happy-go-lucky ass writes back, oh my God, I hope you're gonna be telling me this tonight. Like, you're gonna be like, I want to see you so bad that I'm not even gonna wait for you to tell me in the text message where the hell you've been, or to call me and tell me where you've been. No, I'm gonna run over to your house so that you can tell me in person, so that we can do the do, and I can just pretend that you never left and that we're still in love and that you actually love me back, even though you did not say it back. Yeah, I was going through it. But moral of the story is, he then ghosted my ass again. 6 months. And guess what? When he came back, I didn't sleep with him right away, but I still was talking to him. Child, I was boo-boo the fool. I had daddy issues like written on my forehead, and he was just milking it, right? But ultimately, he did the bare minimum, and I accepted it. So when he ghosted me and he came back and there were no consequences, he ultimately realized that I was always going to be here, and that I was going to complain, I was going to talk my ish, I might withhold my jewels for a little bit, but ultimately I was going to give in and greet him with a smile and love him unconditionally. So he didn't change. And he continued to do whatever the hell it is that he wanted to do, until ultimately I packed my bags and I moved to California and was like, peace, can't date you anymore. And then ultimately I next level the entire situation and moved to Mexico. So cheers to me, Lakeisha. But when I accepted the bare minimum, that's exactly what I got. No more, no less. When I showed people that there were no consequences to their actions, they showed their ass. So my question to you is, where are you accepting the bare minimum in your life, and what the hell are you going to do about it? Because you got to be ready to walk away. You got to say, I love me enough to choose myself. I respect the shit out of myself and my boundaries. That you do not get to play with me. You do not get to play with my feelings. You do not get to disrespect me. I've let Tyrones and Adams and all that, I've let all that go down enough. Those were my 20s. I'm 30 now. We're not playing those games. So, what are you bringing to the table? Because I am the table. I am the shit. Do you see me? I'm gorgeous. I'm fabulous in all that I do. I'm fabulous as a friend. I'm fabulous as a coach, as a business owner, as a romantic partner, a daughter, a sister, all these things. So, with that being said, I shall no longer accept the bare minimum in my relationships, and neither should you. And this tea was probably a little too hot for what you were ready for and prepared for on this Friday. That's for y'all crickets in the comments, because y'all here, it's 5 of y'all here, but that's okay. That's all love. I know it's love. But we're not accepting the bare minimum anymore. We clearing all that up. Look at, you see the smoke? We clearing it. God, angels, universe. We are releasing what no longer serves us, letting go of our fear of abandonment, of loneliness, of rejection, and we're raising the bar, and we're keeping the bar high. And we easily let go of anyone and any thought and any experience that does not live up to that standard. And let me tell you, The crazy thing is, let's go back to the guy who ghosted me. So at the time when he ghosted me, I had been affirming I allow what no longer serves me to be easily removed. I had been affirming it for a couple days at this point, and this is the time he ghosted me for 6 months. And let me tell you, honey, I was not ready. I thought just like my little insecurities, like about my hair texture, like those kind of things were gonna just like go away. No, God, the universe was like, there are people in your life that no longer serve you and do not help you feel better about yourself. So I'm going to pluck those people out of your life. So on my birthday, my boyfriend said poof and disappeared. My best friend said poof and disappeared. And I lost 2 very pivotal people in my life because I decided that I didn't want the bare minimum anymore. And then I had to deal with my life now that these people were gone. I had to deal with the fact that I really loved him, obviously, and he was no longer there. You say this, but it's so much harder said than done, especially if you don't know if the grass is green on the other side. But the grass isn't greener where you are. And I say this with love, and I don't know you personally, but I'm speaking from personal experience, and I am a coach, and I help my clients move through emotional things. I got mad female best friends. I have sisters, the whole shebang. I wrote a whole book about this ish, right? But I'm saying that the grass wasn't green where I was. So I was scared, right? Because let's go deeper. Let me bring the camera closer. Okay. So in that relationship, right? We're calling him Bobby. This last one with all the ghosting and all the love that I had for him. In that relationship, it was great. We had incredibly beautiful moments where I was just like, I never wanted to have babies, but like I would have this man's baby. Like, I love him. Oh my God, I'm taking you home to meet my mama. And I never brought a man home to meet my mama. I brought this man home to meet my family on like day 4 of dating. Not 4 dates. I'm talking like we've been texting. We went on 1 date and we've been texting for 4 dates. And on the 4th day of communication, I brought him to my cousin's baby shower. So I was clearly in love and open from the gate. And there were also moments in that relationship where he did not give me what I needed. He hurt me. He betrayed my trust. He made me feel abandoned. He triggered the crap out of my daddy wounds. He ghosted me. He had a baby with another girl. There were so many things that went ill, like went so freaking wrong in that relationship. It was incredibly like manipulative and just like painful to experience, right? But also like beautiful in another breath, right? Like whatever. He asked to come to the baby shower. I was at the baby shower and he was like, what are you doing? I want to come. I want to meet your peeps. And I was like, I've never done this before, but okay. Like, so I let him in, whatever, right? So in that retrospect, it was beautiful and it was toxic in the same breath. And I remember thinking, and literally he said these words to me, I may be bad, but I'm better than you ever had. I've had men like legit bring another girl like to a party that they invited me to in my face and just like flaunt her past my face. It's like disrespect. I've had men like bring other women to my home. You hear me? To my house. The house that I pay rent at, that they don't live at. That I gave them the key and they brought another woman into my home. But you can read that story in my book. Link is in my bio, right? But I've had men ultimately disrespect me. And he knew exactly, yeah, girl, my mother found them. Oh, child, the tea is hot. So I've had men disrespect me to the point of no return. And I have expressed this to Bobby, right? So in his mind, he has never done that. So this is before the baby, right? Because we were together for like 3 years before he has the baby on me. So in his mind, and literally the words that comes out of his mouth are, but I'm better than Tyrone. I'm better than this, and this. And he was better. He was. He was truly better. He gave me money. He lived with me. He was there like when my grandma passed away. He was the truly better boyfriend than all of those other people. He wasn't lying. So in that moment, I felt like that was as good as I can do. I felt like he ghosts me and kind of just like disappears to take mental health time, what he called it. And I said, okay. And I accepted it. And I realized ultimately that in accepting that, not only was I wasting my valuable time, but I was also allowing myself to be disrespected. I was allowing myself to say that I do not believe that I am worthy of more. I do not believe that I am lovable. I am allowing the beliefs that my father's absence has implanted and programmed into me from childhood because he was not there, because he was an absent parent. I am allowing this experience to dictate my future and make me truly believe that I am unlovable, and that Tyrone and all of those other guys that I dated, that them disrespecting me, that them not like loving me or even like caring about my feelings at all, like them not even doing the bare freaking minimum for me was okay. So now that this person was doing a little more than the bare minimum, I was just like, this is wonderful. This is love. Let's get married. Let's live together. Let's be together forever. I truly felt like my grass was green. And to be truthful, a lot of my friends were going through, you know what's so crazy? His actual name is Tyrone, and I don't even care right now, but his name was Tyrone, and I should have known. But my name is Lakeisha, so I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. Because I'm just like, I kind of got a ghetto name that comes like with a lot of, you know, insinuations about it, and I thought we were gonna like unite together and like be a power force of like ghetto black names, but whatever. So in these moments, I realized also that my friends were going through toxic relationships and that mine wasn't as bad as theirs. Lakeisha and Tyrone, a match made in Harlem heaven. So my friends were going through ish, and not gonna say any of their business, but it was toxic, y'all. So because they were going through ish, I'm like, it really ain't ish out there. Like, love does not exist. Love is toxic. Love is pain. Love is suffering. And this is just my reality. So I'm going to stay. So I stayed for, I don't even know how long I stayed, because even after I left, I still kind of stayed because we were still in communication with each other, right? And then ultimately, eventually, I knew better. I decided to do better and open my eyes and realize that I am gorgeous, that I bring so much to the table, that I am the table, and that I deserve more. And in that moment, I was no longer afraid of being alone. In that moment, I said, you know what? Even if it means that I am going to be single, because I feel like that's a lot of pressure on us as women. We are literally taught to be like seeking love from like the dawn of day. Literally, I feel like my grandma, when I was like 10 years old, she was just like, you don't like to clean, you don't want to learn how to cook, how are you ever going to keep a man? Like, I'm 10. What do I know about a man? What are you talking about? From young, they're raising us women to be everything a man desires. So I needed to be okay with me being single and say, you know what? This disrespect that I'm getting from this relationship in particular and all of the other relationships that I've had in the past is not worth my sanity. I am going to be single. And I became celibate. And honey, this time when I became celibate, life changed. It got better. I raised my standards. I was no longer accepting the bare minimum. So the next man that came into my life did better. And then I realized that he had issues and there were still problems in that experience. So I tweaked it. I tweaked my expectations. I tweaked my desires and my wants and my needs for my partner. And the next man that I dated, the guy from Miami, juicy goodness. So I miss you too, my love. How have you been? Hi, Shelby. Hi, everyone who's here. But to go back and answer your question, I am not saying that it is easy. I don't think it's easy at all. It was incredibly painful. I was crying on my bathroom floor, honey. I didn't want to let him go. I had blocked him on social media, and he didn't like, and then like I unblocked him and like tried to send him a friend request because his page was private, and he never like accepted my friend request. Like, so I was stressed. So I didn't even know like what was going on in his life. I was going through it. I'm just like, he probably out there in love, like living this magical life, all of these things, and I didn't know. And I was in pain. I wrote a whole book about my pain, writing the second book now about my pain, and yeah, it was hard, but it was what needed to be done. In this moment, I needed to go through the pain so that moving forward, I didn't continuously go through the pain. Think about it like this, relationship wise, right? Think about it the way that you would think about weight. It's like, okay, I want to lose 10 pounds. So I'm going to work out and I'm going to eat healthy for 3 months so that I can lose these 10 pounds. I am going to go through whatever it is required of me right now in this moment, although it is uncomfortable, although I don't want to do it, although I'm tired, who wants to work out, all of these things. I'm going to do what is necessary right now in this moment to get the results that I desire, because I truly want to lose the 10 pounds. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change my eating habits. And the same rules apply with love. I truly want to feel good in love. And in those relationships, I did not feel good. I did not feel good with them long term. I did not feel good about myself, because I would find myself in situations where I felt embarrassed. I felt ashamed. I felt like, damn, I'm about to call my friends and like complain about this man again. I'm still not taking their advice. I'm still not doing what I know needs to be done. I am accepting the bare minimum, and I'm mad at this person for not changing when I haven't required them to change. So I had to go through that temporary pain, that temporary sadness, so ultimately I could attract better. So that ultimately I could do the work on myself. Because my abandonment issues, my fear of rejection, this idea that I was unworthy, that I was unlovable, did not come from my romantic partners. They came from my father not being there. So it was my job to take a step back from dating and do that work. And trust, it wasn't sexy, but it was necessary. And now I can sit forth in front of you and say that I no longer accept the bare minimum in any areas of my life. Not my money, not my friends, not my lovers. It's a dub. I'm okay with walking away from people. And I'm okay now really truly learning that it is okay for people to walk away from me, and that when people walk away from me, it doesn't mean that I'm unlovable. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with me. It just means that our chapter is over. I got the lesson, they got the lesson, we got what we needed. It was beautiful memories while it lasted, and I wish you well. And I hope that in this long spiel, because I feel like I've been talking for quite some time now, I hope you got exactly what you needed. And I want you guys to know that you'll eventually get to a space where it will get easier. It will truly get easier. But in the moment when you're in the darkness and you're in the shadow, it's gonna feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. It's gonna feel like you were never going to manifest anyone. You are going to feel like you might as well just text your ex back. You might as well just go back. But I'm telling you that the grass is greener. And I feel like that entire phrase, right, comes from the consensus that where you are, the grass is green. But where we were, it wasn't green. It wasn't healthy. We weren't happy. We spent most of our times crying. We spent most of our times suffering. And love does not equate to suffering. So in these moments, in these experiences where our partners are not giving us exactly what we want, we have to be okay with moving on, and not just like entertaining our exes just because we're afraid of being alone, just because we feel like we need a pen pal. I feel like the pandemic pulled out a lot of pen pals from people. My exes were just like popping up out of the woodworks, and I was like entertaining the text messages for a while, and I'm just like, Lakeisha, you know better. Close your legs, close your heart, stop playing these games. The text your ex is real, so real. And it's like they be sniffing it out, like they just be knowing, like, oh, she happy, I feel like she's getting over me, let me send her a message. Ugh. Right? And I'm like, someone, I still have the same number from like when I got my first cell phone. Like when I had the same number from when I was in high school when I had a flip phone. So my exes just be like taking advantage of this and just be like texting me from all sorts of numbers, like, I miss you, I love you, remember when, like all these little beautiful stories, and they want to like go down memory lane, and I'm like, oh yeah, remember when, whatever. And I'm like, oh, remember when you cheated on me? Yeah, I remember that. Never forgot. I forgive you, but I'm not stupid. Beat it, get off my line. Blocked. Those soul ties, exactly. We're clipping those, we're ending those, we're cord cutting. Yeah, we're doing the energy cuts, all the shebang. So I say all this to say that I have so many like juicy offers coming out that like I'm so hyped to share with you guys. Okay, first things first, I'm gonna start doing a monthly goddess circle where literally we women, we will get together on video. I will pour life back into you. We will do cord cutting ceremonies, we will do breath work, we will do some yoni breathing, we will do all the things. And if you follow my page, I will be giving you the update because I'm trying to figure out the day that I'm actually going to start it because it's so juicy and I'm really, really excited about that. Second, also, I am doing a 5-week live group program with my best friend, Diana, who is my travel companion, and we literally like manifested the crap out of each other, and we just want to share with you like all the codes and like awesome things that we did to manifest this beautiful life, because I woke up in 2020 and decided that it was time that I stopped just like living in New York. I didn't want to go back to California. I was ready to travel and see the world. I wanted more for myself, but I didn't want to do it alone. She woke up in South Carolina and decided that she wanted more, and we both literally, not even knowing each other, complete strangers, manifested the crap out of each other. It was so aligned, it's not even funny. It was beautiful. And we came together, instantly met, and was like, let's live together, let's do this. I got your back, you got my back. And it's been 1 year. So it's fabulous. And I currently live in Mexico. This is my 3rd Mexican city, I believe. And Puerto Vallarta is fabulous. Look at this is my bedroom. This is what I see from my bedroom. That's the beach, and there are mountains, if you can see it. Like, my apartment has no like actual like full-fledged doors. It's fucking fabulous here. Yes, soulmate. She's my soulmate. And it's been a fabulous year filled with laughter, vegan burritos, love, and tears. So much healing has happened for me in the past year. So yeah, our program Aligned is 5 weeks. It starts in August, and it's currently like available right now for $555 because that is just a powerful freaking number about moving forward. So shoot me a message and let me know if you're interested in joining that. Also, if you're just like, Lakeisha, I just want to like flood your Instagram with like tons of hearts and like show you love there, I accept that as well. I love you guys. I am done talking. I ran out of water, and I love you guys. I believe in you. Raise your goddamn expectations and walk away when they are not met. I love you. I see you. I hear you, and I believe in you. And I'll talk to you soon.